Manuel.
Good
It's
morning.
morning for you in Toronto, Canada. It's afternoon here for me in Cyprus. So we're going to tell these guys who are going to watch this why they should attend the course that is on AI project management and what exciting stuff is going to be discussed and taught on that course. Firstly, I wish to thank the EIMF for inviting us to write it, present it, and I'm being generous about myself. I'm more the moderator here. Manuel will do most of the work. So Manuel, why don't you just introduce yourself to the people watching here today and tell us more about you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andronicos, for that introduction. And I also want to thank the EIMF for the opportunity of sharing this knowledge that I think is one of the hottest topics in the world at the time. As you know, well, I've been working in technology for a number of years since we know each other, but I'm a systems engineer as my background. I am a programmer, I am a coder, so I've been working in startups and technology companies. And recently, since I moved to Canada, I have been working as a business analyst and project manager for financial institutions mainly, doing some consulting on the side as well. But over the last few years, I've been very focused in AI progress and seeing the different the different glimpses that we've seen of the future that we all are going to enjoy, and some of us also endure, because there's a lot of things to unpack here.
Good. You're quite laid back in the sense that you do have an MBA from a Canadian university. We met about 12 years ago, I think.
Yes, already.
In fact, your customer, your employer at the time was a South American, one of the largest telecom companies there. And I managed to sell my software to you guys. And I made a note of your name in one of my little black books in a positive way. And you eventually joined part of the group, although you didn't actually work for me directly. And then we've collaborated on a few things. It's me that's invited you to help write this course out of merit, because I believe in you and I trust in you. And I know your style. So let's now explain what this course is about. I mean, the actual official title that the European Institute of Management and Finance have called it is EIMF Certificate in Generative Artificial Intelligence, in brackets AI, for project management. Now, in simple English, Manuel, tell us what that means.
Yeah, well, going back to my background as a project manager, I became a PMP, which is the PMI certification for project managers after years of experience and related work in the field. And so one of the things that I have noticed in this AI boom that we're living is that it's like the focus is the general artificial intelligence future that awaits us, and the fact that the current chatbots that we are all familiar, at least at some extent, with, like ChatGPT or Bing, now called Copilot from Microsoft, and others, is the ability to respond to any inquiries that you give them, and to provide any sort of content that you ask for. But I think that the actual challenge is to be able to adjust that power and that capability to a specific field. And in this case, I have been already working for a year and a half, more or less, in fine-tuning ChatGPT, Copilot, Claude AI, and other tools to the specific work and challenges of project managers and executives at other levels. So that comes with a lot of the need of understanding a lot of the background, not necessarily technical details, but at least the to abstract what these chatbots actually do, how they work, so that you can use that potential in a specific field. So we're going to focus in the activities, the tasks, and the day-to-day work of a project manager slash executive. So this is going to be content that also business analysts and other professionals will be able to enjoy, but we will be focusing a lot on the activities and tasks of the project manager, with specific also I would say bias to the PMI methodology, which is the PMBOK.
Okay. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Explain in 30 seconds to your grandmother, who, but obviously you're not going to do this in Spanish, you're going to do it in English, who I assume is not very technical. Explain in 30 seconds why it's good for people to do this course by the EIMF.
Well, I think it is important to understand the basics, but also the principles and the future of this technology, and apply it to your field of work. Yeah, and in this case, for project managers, I think it is critical to be able to adapt and to use this new tool as a differentiator, so a way to showcase new abilities and new powers in a very competitive world.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I'd summarize that by saying, Grandma, if I go on this course, I'll be able to do my job really well, and I will get promoted, and I'll get more money. That's how I would say it. But
well,
that's a very simplistic.
You can also say, Grandma, thanks to this, I will probably not be out of job in the next 10 years until the AI overlords take over. But we can discuss that later.
That's the half glass empty, half glass full approach. That's a good point. One thing I would recommend to people, the people who are going to go on this course, and I want to throw in the fact, book as soon as possible. Seats are limited. I know we're going to do this remotely. You'll be in Canada. I will be in Cyprus. But still, we're not going to, we can't have unlimited seats, even though it is online, because we want to interact with the attendees. One thing I would strongly recommend, and I haven't really given much about my background yet, is I did have the honor of teaching one of the first AI generative courses, or it was called LLM then, large language model, in the last summer for the EIMF. We had hundreds of people attended. Video is still online. So are the course notes in English and Greek. And I invite everybody who's going to go on this course as a prereq, not a mandatory one, because most of you already have played with generative AI for day-to-day stuff. But if you watch this course in English or Greek with subtitles, and read the substantial course notes, and the index itself runs to 4 pages. You can jump to the headings that you want. It is transformative because it can change our lives. Exactly what you said earlier when you had your more complicated discussion with your grandmother is it's here to stay. AI is here to stay. And one thing I've been involved while you've been writing this course, Manuel, is there's a lot of material to cover. But what I've noticed, and you've been the quarterback here, you've been the captain in putting the stuff together, is anybody attending this course will learn a little bit about project management itself, although most people will be project managers. anyway in their jobs, or business analysts, but they will get little bits of information from your background because you've put together various fields, and we've done it for mainly a European audience because in North America, to a degree, the UK, project managers tend to work for very large companies. So, you could have 50 project managers. In European companies, they tend to be smaller organizations, and a project manager's got to be more versatile. So we're going to give a little bit extra. In fact, we're planning to have a guest speaker who's created something pretty amazing with AI, and we will have to put it together. How do we bring this into our organization? So we're going to cover all sorts of little things that together, the sum of the parts, will mean we will do our jobs better. We will be able to improve our organizations, whether they're government or commercial, and we'll save money, increase efficiency, and that's what the aim is. Tell us who should go on this course.
Yeah, I think you touched on a good point, and it is how practical and hands-on this course is going to be. We have a lot of content to cover and a lot of information to share, but the important parts of this course are going to be the actual interaction we are going to have with the different AI tools, mainly ChatGPT. We are going to focus on, as I said, the day-to-day activities. So it's going to be completely practical. I have built a number of tools myself using AI already, like tools to transcribe recordings, for example, for from meetings. Also tools to extract the meeting notes from those recordings, and we're going to share how to do things like that, how to use these AI tools as companions or assistants for Excel to write your own formulas, to write macros. And by the end of the course, we will have a not very deep, but we will definitely touch on how to create programs using Python and other programming languages, even if you don't program, if you're not a coder. So yes, the focus idea is to be able to deliver capabilities to the people participating in these sessions so that they can actually go to their work and their duties and implement them and be able to get a lot of value from this. So in that sense, I would say this is, as we have discussed, mainly for project managers, but I think that the second best fit for this is going to be entrepreneurs. And I explained to you how a lot of project managers are very likely to become entrepreneurs and at some point in their lives, just because of the fact of this project mindset and product oriented abilities. But very close to that is business analysts, executives, managers of all sorts, students, and just people who want to delve deeper in the intricacies of generative artificial intelligence, which is the latest and greatest technology that is offering to us.
Great. Very briefly, go over what we call the modules, and they range between, there's basically 7. Okay.
Yes.
Just run through them. It is on the EIMF website. It does list these. Just very briefly touch through them, what somebody will learn through them.
Yes, absolutely. So we have divided, as you mentioned, this content into 7 modules in a very structured way, so that the learning is sequential and it is incremental, and it is easier for audiences, even without any background in technology, in programming or anything like that, to be able to grasp the concepts that we will be sharing. So the first module is called Introduction to LLMs, and we will be just explaining the technology behind these fantastic tools. Not at a level of engineering or the computer science that is behind, but more so just the concept of what these technologies really do, how they think, and how we should be able to interact to them. So we're going to focus in the main big ones in the market right now: ChatGPT, Bing from Microsoft, Bard from Google, and we will mention Claude AI. That I'm not sure it's available in Europe or in Cyprus, but
Claude AI is not totally available in some of the.
Correct. All right. Then we will have a module called Working with Generative AI. So we will be more specific in how to interact with these models. What is prompting and how we build good prompts? How can we improve our prompting, meaning the instructions we give AI? What type of responses it can give us?
Can I just interject there, if I may, Manuel? To give a simple example is when I did this course on generative AI back in July for the EIMF, it's the prompts, and I'm not talking programming side or the project management side. I mean the general side is with simple prompts. I managed to write the structure of a PhD in around 3 minutes, and then translate the first page into Japanese. So what you're going to do is exactly the same, but in the project management, technology, IT front. Really, yes.
This model is going to be very general. It's not going to focus so much for project managers, because this is the foundation that we want anyone taking this course to be able to understand, and so that it's like the basic concepts. But so you're right, we will be explaining what these prompts require, how they're built, and how you improve them. There are specific techniques that we are going to teach on how to build these prompts in a very efficient way, so that they give you the answers that you really need. Because I've heard these, and it's been always from beginner users of ChatGPT, for example, where they say, but ChatGPT never answers the right question. It always rambles or gives me nonsense. And the truth is that it is really the way we ask our questions, or we place our requirements or requests to ChatGPT. That's called prompting, and we are going to learn to build good prompts.
Good. And again, without going into deep dive, you've covered the first part of the module, a little bit of the second. Just quickly go through it, like a minute, 1 or 2 minutes. It'll take you 3 probably. Go through the rest of the module.
Then we will have another module called Generative AI for Professionals. And then it is where, as you can see, we're going to go more specific as we move forward in the course. This is going to be more oriented for people who work at a office context with teams collaborating in an organization that could be medium-sized to large organization, or even startups. And we are going to start seeing the activities where AI is more useful, helping us, like content creation, building our own pre-prompted tools, like we can call them customized ChatGPT. And also we will start looking at examples of useful things, just like you mentioned, that creating the content for a complex endeavor, you can do that in just minutes. So we're going to see an example of starting a new business, like what it would be like creating a company from scratch with the power of ChatGPT, and you will be amazed, and also our students, and how easy and fast and professional it can be. So then we are going to just go very, very deep in project management in the next course level, which is named Project Management with AI. And it is on this module where we are going to be entering in more detail in the world of project managers, specifically following two methodologies or principles in project management, which are the PMBOK from the PMI and Agile. So these being kind of the two more familiar books of or bodies of knowledge for project managers, we're going to see where in the different areas of knowledge and techniques and processes and deliverables for project managers we can use and enjoy the abilities of ChatGPT the most. So, for example, creating the project charter, creating a work breakdown structure, reporting, identifying risks, creating risk responses, risk response plans for our risks. And in the Agile world, using AI to create user stories, to group them by epics, and doing backlog grooming and all that sort of stuff. Then we will see a workshop. So we're going to be a lot more hands-on. We are going to apply all the techniques and knowledge that we have gathered in a full project. So the next module is called Workshop Starting a Business with the Help of AI. So it's going to be a complete life cycle of creating a new product, for example, or a new company. It could be also a new service where we are going to learn from just getting the idea, even coming up with an idea that could be profitable, that could be a differentiator in the market, and using ChatGPT to get that brainstorming, doing market research, creating the naming, the logos, the concept mock-ups, helping us with costs, and all the way to the project execution, which is again the project manager part of it, all the way to creating the pricing and sales goals and creating a campaign, a marketing campaign. So it's going to be a very interesting exercise to see how powerful these tools are. And then the last two are going to be assisted advanced management. So these are going to be more professional, I would say, a little bit more complex tools like decision trees, sensitivity analysis, using management tools like Porter 5 Forces or SWOT analysis in ChatGPT. And the last part of this module, it's going to be touching on using Python to do data analysis. But again, no need to fear, because it's not going to require any background in coding whatsoever. And finally, but not least, we're going to have this more existential and philosophical course on present and future of generative AI. And this is where we are going to talk about the impact of this technology on society, on the workplace, on the economy, and what the future can bring. So how we should prepare ourselves for the changes that are going to start happening ever so faster in our world, thanks to this technology and the technologies that will surely arise in the next few years.
Thank you for that summary. And I sort of, in conclusion, I would also like to say that one of the privileges I had is to advise some pretty highest echelons of government. I did a workshop actually as a proof of concept of how we use generative AI in a semi-government organization. Mm-hmm. And I have to emphasize the productivity boost it does, what you can get is if the public sector uses it, and that's why we want to invite the public sector to this, it'll change our lives. It'll save taxpayers money and will make our jobs more easy. So in conclusion, I just want to say a little bit about myself. I'm very humble. I kept quiet. I wanted to hear Manuel talk and everything. A little bit about my background. I'm semi-retired. I've had the privilege of either managing, owning, or working for. I worked for some pretty large organizations, and sorry, I had a pop-up message there. I actually have become quite an expert on generative AI. Manuel on the same subject, but in a much more technical side. So it's a good partnership. A little bit more about my background. I spent many decades on risk management in some extremely large organizations, building the first help desks. I wouldn't call myself the father of ITIL because that would be an extremely pompous thing, but ITIL is how you manage IT in a mega corporation generally. Certainly I laid the seeds. I taught a number of courses for IBM. And on the side, about a year ago, I ran for president for the Republic of Cyprus, even though Greek is not my first language. You probably get that I speak with a very strong English accent. So I've lived in many countries, had a lot of IT expertise. I'm going to look forward to working with you guys and Manuel. We're here as a team to help you, and we thank the EIMF for organizing this course. And please join. The button to link to booking the course should be in the write-up below. Thank you very much. Manuel, thank you. Look forward to seeing you all.
My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity, and bye, everyone. Thank you.